So Colby Covington was recently on Submission Radio, the only platform he ever goes to for interviews because they are willing to glaze him and give him the props and not ask him the really tough questions. They essentially want Colby Covington on their platform because before he would drive in a lot of views, but recently it's not as if he's generating that much buzz or hype. So I'm a bit baffled with why they are still clearly glazing him and making him feel as though he is this special entity. But I guess a dog will be loyal to the owner that feeds it the most. Now, during this interview with Submission Radio, Colby clearly ducked Ian Gary, saying that Ian did not adhere to the stipulations that Colby had set out for them to have a match. And as I'm listening to this, I'm like, Colby, you are in no position to sit there and say that a fighter has to do what you want so that they can have a match. Have a match. Dude, you are on a losing streak. You got a title opportunity against Leon Edwards off the back of a losing streak. You have not beaten anyone relevant over the last couple of years. You should be grateful that Ian Gary has decided to have a matchup against you instead of ducking you, because if you can beat Ian Gary, that would only amplify your recent record. It would maybe essentially boost your record, but the fans have finally seen through the cracks in the wall. They've seen through your facade. You are no longer that much of a draw. You're no longer interesting. Even your core fan base are tired of you. But instead of accepting the challenge against Ian Gary, he calls out Bilal Muhammad, the same Bilal Muhammad who Colby says needs to get cancelled by the fans because he is a racist, and he accused Colby Covington of having white supremacy or white favoritism or whatever it is, Dana White privilege, whatever it is. And Colby, the man who literally spoke about a person's dead father to promote a UFC event, is talking about cancellation. How much of an entitled person do you have to be so blindsided and assume that you are walking on gold and everyone else who maybe stoops to your level is a shitty person? But then to make it even more interesting, Colby does not call out the other person ranked above him. If he does want to fight people above him, he does not call out Shavkat Rakhmonov. Instead, he says, you know what, I want to fight Charles Oliveira. If it is true that you are after big fights, you are after money fights, you are after fights that will put you in contention for the title, surely you would consider fighting Shavkat, who is the most entertaining welterweight right now, the most must-see welterweight. But instead, you ask and call out a lightweight in Charles Oliveira, quite similar to when he called out Dustin Poirier instead of challenging welterweights who are in his division. In fact, Bilal called you out and you said that did not make sense. He did not deserve a fight. And you instead wanted to fight Dustin Poirier because there was history there. He said some things you did not like. Even after losing against Leon Edwards, he immediately said he wants to fight Wonderboy because Wonderboy said something about him that he did not like, and that's a fight that makes the most sense. Colby is completely finished and he is no longer relevant, and you can see he is grasping at straws. He is trying his utmost best to get matchups that quote unquote might be favorable for him. I don't even think the Bilal Muhammad fight is favorable for him because Colby says he would finish him, and we've never seen Colby knock out anyone, but Bilal has knocked out someone. He has gotten a finish, and the wrestling would be an interesting exchange. Maybe Colby would be the better, or is expected to be the better of the two on paper, but if Leon was able to handle Colby's wrestling, I'm sure Bilal, someone who is wrestle heavy, would be able to do the same. Colby is at the end of his career. He is approaching 40. He is no longer the dude who he was. He had a great war and battle with Kamaru Usman, and that is the highlight of his career. Besides that, he should not assume that he is this mega star that gets to walk around and do as he please. Only Conor McGregor receives such treatment because Conor McGregor sells out even if he has not fought for the last 3 years. Colby Covington versus Bilal Muhammad will not sell. It is not a draw. It is not a fight that people will be like, I want to watch Colby Covington versus Bilal Muhammad as the main event of a UFC pay-per-view. No. Call out Shavkat Rakhmonov. If not, then just accept that you are finished. Do not go on Submission Radio and tell the whole world that you are the greatest welterweight if you are out here calling out a lightweight. It is pathetic and sad.